tried taking a live session, but due to some network related issue, I was not able to continue the session. So sorry again. Okay, that's why I am just creating the normal video discussing the MCQs. Okay, let's start. So today we are just going to discuss some MCQs. And the first one, for I-10 and car class, correct way of inheritance. From the name we can actually understand that I-10, which is a type of car, and car more generic. So obviously the car property as it is very generic one, so I-10 will be taking the inheriting the property of car class. So here the right way to describe this one declaration, the right way of declaration is this one: car I-10 public class I-10 public car. You are inheriting from car class. Okay, next. In C++, virtual function is used in which concept? We all know that the virtual function, this is a runtime polymorphism, and here it is function overriding. This is function overriding. This is not compile time polymorphism. We know that the virtual function is runtime polymorphism, and as function overloading is compile time polymorphism, obviously the function overloading will not be the answer. So from this you can also answer this question from the option also. First, function overloading, which is compile time polymorphism. Next option is function overriding. Third option is compile time polymorphism. As virtual function, you know that it is runtime polymorphism, and the fourth option, all of the above, not possible. So here the answer will be B. Okay. Next question. What will be the order of execution of base class constructors in the following methods of inheritance? Okay. See the question, that class A, public B, virtual public C, then the definition of the class. Actually, C++ rule says that the virtual base classes are constructed before all non-virtual classes. Mind it, virtual base classes are constructed before all non-virtual classes. So here, which one is a virtual one? C is a virtual one. So, and B is non-virtual. So we know that the first parent classes constructor will be invoked, then the derived classes constructor will be invoked. First base classes, then derived classes. So here the parent are class B and class C. This is the parents, and among them class C is virtual. Class C is virtual. So obviously the constructor of class C will be invoked first. So here the answer will be C, B, A. Don't forget the rule that always the base classes constructor will be invoked. It will be invoked before the non-base classes. Okay. Thank you. Next question. Question number 4. In C++, object is created in following way. There are two ways are given. One is AOB5 and another one is AOB1 equals to new A5. Okay, so one is created statically and next one is created using the operator, which helps to create the object. You know that in heap area. I have already discussed it. So whenever in case of C++, both of these are actually possible. You can create the object when the object will be created in the stack area, as well as it will be possible to create in the heap area. In case of Java, this one is not possible. We know that only the object can be created in heap area using the new keyword, using the new operator actually. So here the options are given: stack heap, heap stack, heap heap, stack stack. So obviously from this one we can easily understand the first one is created statically. So it will be created in the stack area. We don't have so just no need to allocate the memory explicitly using the new operator. So here the answer will be stack heap, the first one. Hope you can understand. Okay, next question. See the question. One class T1 and next class T2. T2 is inherited from T1 and here the pointer of T1. Pointer of T1 and T2 OB2. P1 is holding the address of OB2, the object 2, which is type of T2 classes type, and then you are just calling the display function. Now see, both of these class, that means T1 and T2 class, have the display function. Though the expectation is that T2 will be called, but here the pointer type is type compatible with the parent class, I mean T1 class, and that's why it ignores the content. Though it is containing the address of object 2, but still it will just ignore it, and here the answer will be T1. Though here the option is not given, so answer will be none. Okay. For this one, the answer will be none, because here one option is given, display T2. T2 will not be displayed because T1 will be displayed. We don't have the virtual option, so answer will be none. Next question. Which of the following cannot be friend operator function? So very easy to answer, I guess. In operator overloading, the rules are already given. You can also follow this lesson. Okay, this one is the answer. Scope resolution operator not able to be overloaded. Operator overloading is not possible for this scope resolution. So both option will not be there, and here the function call, this one is not able to be overloaded as friend operator function. Next question number 7. Which function can be called without using object of class? Virtual function? No. Inline function? No. Only the static function? Yes, only the static function is possible to be called without using the object, because here you know that say if you have a class A and you have some static functions, say static F1 and static F2. We have two functions, static F1 and static F2. So whenever you are going to call the functions, no need to call it using the object. In fact, you cannot call it using the object. You have to call it using the class name, because when a function is static, the function is class level function. So here the answer will be A. Answer will be A. F1, like this it will be called. Handwriting is very bad here. Okay, I'm not comfortable with clicking the mouse and all. Whatever, the answer is static function, because we know that whenever we are going to call the static function, this one is a class level function, we have to call it using the class name, scope resolution operator, and then the function. Okay, next question number 8. T1 OB1 T2 OB2 OB2 dot display. Which one will be called? Very easy to answer. Yes, display T2, because here you are just calling using the object of T2, and this one is calling the display function. Whenever we have writing the same signature of both of these function, that time after compilation, this display, that means the display for T1 and the display for T2, they will actually take different place. They will be stored in different place in the memory. And whenever you are going to call the display using the object of OB2, and here the object type is T2 type, so that's why the display which one is this version, it will be called. Okay, they remember that they are actually stored in different places. Okay, next question number 9. We have T1 virtual public T1 virtual public T1, and then T4 public T2 public T3. So here it is hierarchical inheritance. From T1 we are getting T2 and T3, isn't it? We are getting T2 and T3. Sorry, I have written. No problem. T2 and T3 from T1. So this is hierarchical inheritance, you know, and then we are getting T4 from T2 and T3. So the problem, deadly diamond problem, you know that. Now the question is, whenever you are going to create the object of T4, what will be the value of I? Always remember the latest one. The latest one will be invoked. Will actually replace the value of I. So here the latest one is T3. So the value of I will be 30, not 10. Though we are just we have the concept that as it is virtually inherited, you are just using the virtual class for T2 and T3 to inheriting the property of T1. So directly copy of T1 will be there. Yes, it is only the one copy of I will be there, but the value of I, the constructor, will be invoked, and that's why here the value of T3, the value of I will be 30, because the last one, the latest one is T3. Okay, next, and this one is the last question. Let's read the question first. We have class T1 and then T2, T3, and then virtual function display is here in T2, and you have this T1 pointer type P1, T1 OB1, you are just holding the address of OB1, calling the display. Next, holding the address of OB2, calling the display, and OB3, calling the display. So what will be the answer? Though you are thinking the answer will be T1, T2, T3, maybe, but here the answer will be T1, 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 because one thing you can see that here the virtual is in class T2. The virtual function display is in class T2, but here this is which type of T1. The pointer is type of T1, and you know that this is not it will actually works in if it is type compatible, ignores the content. So here the answer will be T1, T1, T1. Virtual, if the virtual will be in class T1, that means if the display function of class T1 is virtual, then you will get the answer T1, T2, T3. But here the virtual is in class T2. Please notice it. Here the virtual is in class T2 and here the pointer is T1 type. So you are not able to get the features. So that's why the answer will be T1, T1. Hope you can understand. If you have any question, you can write it in comment box. Thank you.